Many of these Tigrians have fled Eritrean and Ethiopian troops, Amhar's militias, and an armed gang called the Fano. These migrations consist of children, women and the elderly. According to observation made by GSTS, there are more than 52,000 Tigrean refugees distributed in the Sudanese settlements, called Al-Merkuba, Hamdate and Hashaba. Many of them are from May-Kadra, and have personally witnessed the horrific massacre. GSTS has interviewed several of them.
So, who carried the attacks? Did they come from Amhara, were they Fanos, or were they people from your own areas?
Yes, it was without a doubt the Fano. Let me tell you how it happened. They have made arrangements. When the war began, it was in the bandit area. Outside the city, there were Amhara workers known as Salam. These workers were ordered to enter the city. After that the Salam went into the city. They were over 200 people. When the Salam entered the May-Kadra, they collaborated with others who were waiting inside the city and had knives, sticks and machetes. After this, both Fano and the Ethiopian armed forces entered the city. It was the 30th I remember. They then started chopping people, cut the throats of some, others were pulled down from cars and began to be beaten. They told us not to come out of our home, then they started burning houses. All people became frightened and started running for their lives. Many lost their family members, some people were beheaded like sheep. Even looking at the streets was awful. It even started to stink.
It all started, we were out in the field. All of a sudden we started to see tanks in different places. We then ran into town. But the Amhara soldiers were there, cutting people's heads with machetes and killing people with knives. As soon as we saw this, we started running to save our lives. There were many people lying dead on the streets. They killed all the Tigrians they could find. Even with stones they struck people. We saw our friends and relatives lying dead in the streets. There was nothing we could do. If we had stayed we would have been killed. I do not know where my relatives are. I found this boy on the road. It was full of corpses around him. I picked him up and kept running. Many Tigrians have been killed. The soldiers were looking for Tigrians. They had large knives. As soon as they saw somebody, they attacked. We could also have been dead by now, but chance has kept us alive. They even killed 7-year-old boys. I do not believe that any Amharas died. They were Tigrians they wanted to attack. They were asking, "What are you?" And if they hear Tigray, they attacked.
Our people have been slaughtered in the streets like animals. Yes, those called Fano slaughtered people. But the military just told us to go out and save ourselves. They told the young people to run away and save their lives because Fano was coming.
Didn't the military protect the people?
No, they did not protect anyone. But verbally, they told us to run away and protect ourselves from Fano. It was in front of them that Fano was slaughtering people. There are so many who were killed, so many. A 75-year-old man was beheaded. 75 years old.
Did you know any of the victims personally?
Yes, I'm telling you, many of them. My brother Jiras was out guarding goats. He was beaten to death. Amharas killed him. We are not talking about 1 or 2 people. Many people were killed. They must have been 1,000.